Alrighty, welcome to the channel. So I am going to go over a trade that I took early morning. It was around 7:30. It was INKT right here. As you can see right now, we're up like 680% as far as the change. So that's a pretty substantial move. As you can see here on the daily, it just skyrocketed up like around from $20 all the way up to $62 now. And early morning, it showed up right here at 7:30. It showed up on relative volume movers. So when the relative volume is 5 times its normal volume, it's going to show up on this scanner. And right here, as you can see, at 7:30, the relative volume up at the top left was 7.5 thousand. So it was around 8,000 volume. But the other ones were like 100 volume, 200, 300. 100, 500 volume. So when you have 8,000 volume coming in, that's pretty substantial volume. So that's why I brought it up. And then as we can see here at 7:31, we kept moving up, but we had a slight pullback. This right here was the pullback. So it started running up and we had a pullback, and then right up in here at 7:31, this is a 15-second chart. And what I was waiting for was it to move up, and then we get a pullback. So it started moving up. It is holding the VWAP, even on that slight pullback. We're holding that VWAP. And then we had an area right up in here that started drying up on volume, and we had a red candle. And the volume on that red candle was lower than the rest of them. So I was thinking, okay, if we break this high right here on the 15-second chart, I can go ahead and get in. The problem with this was it was like a 35 cent spread. Right now we're trading at like a 50-cent spread in, but it's during market hours. And it was a pretty substantial spread, and I just didn't get in the normal size that I normally would because I just didn't like that spread. And I was looking at the level 2, and it was pretty substantial. So what I did just went on about half my size that I normally do. And once we broke that area right here, we had a micro pullback, and we had a pullback on this one too. But once we broke this, I figured that we would go ahead and do more. So I put my stop around here, which was around $2.35. And then we started moving up, and then once we closed below that low right there, I went on ahead and got out at about $4. Now the thing about that is it was a pretty tight spread, but it was, and I went in about half the size I normally do, but it was still a really decent trade. But you got to be careful with those spreads. And also, this stock was moving, and it was moving pretty good, and we were moving at like $1, $2, $3 pretty quickly. So that 30-cent spread was a little bit higher than what I like, but I figured that if it was going to move, it was going to move. But then when I had a $2 stop, I just went on in about half the size I normally do, but it worked out for me. So that was the trade that I took early morning, and it all popped up on the relative volume movers. It popped up here. There was no catalyst. There's no news, so I really don't know why it was moving. And of course, I had the pre-market window up now, but now it's during market hours. I've got top traded gainers up here. But I just wanted to go over a trade and how I played it this morning. The 1 minute it popped up on the relative volume because the volume was 5 times more or higher than it normally is. And we had a slight pullback, and then we kind of ran up. We had a little consolidation area, and then we had the volume that was kind of drying up in that consolidation area. We broke the high, and then you can go ahead and get in, put your stop down here, and then you could ride it up for a nice few dollar move. So that's all I have. Make sure you download the scanner. It's in beta, and you can go ahead and use it during beta for free. I just want people to tell me and give me some feedback. Tell me how they use it, and just give me some feedback. That's all I have. Bye.